Good morning.
Good morning.
It's early.
It is early.
Today we're doing Trail of the Cedars, which will lead us to the Avalanche Lake Trail. And then we're going to hike into Avalanche Lake. I think it's about a 4-mile round trip. Let's get our hiking shoes on and go for a hike.
All right.
But I was ready for something more. My perfect love, you were out there going solo. You've been running with the wild ones, and you were ready for something more. Something more.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's early.
It is early.
We thought, because the last couple weeks that we've come here at 9 o'clock in the morning and certain parts of the road have been closed because of overfull parking spots, that we'd do the smart thing and get up early, which we did, and get here early, which we did.
Which we did.
We did make it in, but wow, I did not expect there to be this many people here.
Right?
Today we're doing Trail of the Cedars, which will lead us to the Avalanche Lake Trail, and then we're going to hike into Avalanche Lake. I think it's about a 4-mile round trip, so it shouldn't be that bad of a hike, but hopefully with all the people that are here, it's not going to be a really congested trail. I'm hoping at least a good portion of them are going to go do something different.
So a long time ago, in 1895,
That's not that long ago.
it's just a few years, a man by the name of Dr. Lyman Sperry was exploring this area, and this is how this area got its name. And he had heard many avalanches in the area, and so when he came back in the summer, he found the glacier, which now bears his name.
Yeah, Sperry Glacier.
And that's how that avalanche loop here, this area got its name, is from that guy in 1895.
Just a few years ago. All right, let's get our hiking shoes on and go for a hike.
All right.
Let the fun begin.
Just being caught up in your eyes. Oh. Don't you know you stop the room? And all that I can see is you. I'm standing where the lightning strikes. I know this doesn't happen twice. You must be my once in a lifetime, in a lifetime. You must be my once in a lifetime.
So this is the Gorge Waterfall. Seeing something like this just makes me think of how many thousands of years did it take for the water to carve this out of the stone. You can see some of the really cool features in the stone where the water has just carved it away. At certain times of the day, the colors include green, blue, and white. It's just amazing. Okay, this is the start of the Avalanche Lake Trail, which was right off the side of where that gorge was. You start out with a nice long uphill. So let's just get that out of the way right now.
Don't you know you stop the room? And all that I can see is you. I'm standing where the lightning strikes. I know this doesn't happen twice.
So from up here you get a different view of that gorge.
In a lifetime, in a lifetime. You must be
Check out how those rocks have been just carved out. It's amazing what water can do with time. Again, it's just amazing what water can do with time. You can see the way it's carved the edges of the rocks, rounded everything out. It looks smooth. What's for breakfast?
A protein bar. What's for breakfast? Next to the river. It's a beautiful waterfall.
Don't plan on this hike happening quick because there's so many views around every little corner on the trail, at least in the first part. Check this out. Even with all the people on the trail, it's still pretty peaceful until you get close to people that are talking, of course. You can hear birds and chipmunks and all that stuff going on in the woods. This is a really beautiful trail, and I don't know how it's rated.
Easy.
Well, then they rated it correctly because it's been pretty easy, and it's fairly well maintained.
The trail to the Cedars is one of 2 handicapped accessible trails in Glacier National Park.
Right, because part of it, which we haven't walked yet, is actually a boardwalk style trail. From where we came in by the Avalanche campground, it was dirt, but it was very wide and very level, so I could easily understand how it would be handicap accessible, which is nice that they make a trail in a park like this accessible for people in wheelchairs or who have disabilities, so you can get out in the outdoors and still enjoy what nature has to offer, and a real beautiful portion of this trail. Even the waterfall going through the gorge was part of that trail to the Cedars, so you can enjoy getting into that spot as well, and it's well worth it, trust me. So apparently this is a very popular hike today. Can understand why. Well, we made it to Avalanche Lake. There's a lot of people here, and unfortunately, had we been just a little bit earlier, there wouldn't be as much sun in the background here, because there's a lot of sun coming up over the mountain. But wow, what a beautiful lake. Water is as clear as can be. I've seen a few fish jump out there. I imagine they're kind of small, but seems to be a very popular hike today. The beach down there, probably not going to see it, but the beach is just loaded with people. And as we were trying to walk to a little bit quieter place, the sun crested those mountains in the background over here, and now it gets all washed out. Maybe in a little bit we'll get a better view. Tip for you: when you get to the end of the trail and it says end of the trail, if you go off to the left, you can go down and maybe bring some flip-flops or something if you don't want your shoes getting wet, because there are a couple of little bitty, like, you know, water creeks running through, but you can get to a back beach back here that is much less populated than the one right at the head of the, or at the foot of the lake where the trail first comes out to the lake. when we got there today, there was probably 100 people there.
A lot of people.
So take the extra time, walk to the back, come prepared with flip-flops or shoes you're ready to get wet. Maybe bring an extra pair of socks like I did. That way,
because I'm walking barefoot and these rocks are tough.
and she went barefoot through the creeks, which the water's a little chilly from what I understand.
A little chilly, but at least I can put my drier socks and shoes back on.
Right. So the trip back here is definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, the views, I'm gonna go ahead and pan around this way so you can see the views. Now that's the beach back there that I was talking you can get to. And then I'll pan the other way.
I caught a mosquito on your head.
And then right back here behind me again is another one of the peaks. It's just really pretty back here.
See a little bit of the waterfall right up there coming down too.
And at the foot of the lake where the trail first comes out, you can't see it now because of the trees, but behind me at the head of the lake, there's 3 waterfalls that are coming down the mountains that are really pretty. On our way back out, we're going to see if we can get some video footage or something of those. We'll have to set Alice's camera up on a tripod, but it might be worth it.
Time won't stop, so gonna get on the ride, twisting and turning through life. No matter how rough it gets, I'll get by. Home moves with me where I roam. It's in every dream I make my own. I'm never alone. I know that every day will always bring me something new. Every day will bring me something new. Every day will bring me something new.
Well, Alice is getting her camera set up to try and get some pictures or video of the waterfalls.
And my future won't exist without living now. So I spread all my footprints around, yeah. I know that every day will always bring me something new. Every day will bring me something new. Every day will bring me something new. The summer rain is passing over, and it feels like a dream. I could run and look for shelter, but you hold on to me. I'm under your sky.
Trail of the Cedars, and this is just one little bitty side section of the trail. I think it's here because of what's really cool behind me. I'm gonna just punch that camera by. Check that out.
That was super cool.
Can you imagine how old that tree was when it went down? And how that root structure is just amazing.
How many years it's been rained on to wash all the dirt out of it?
So we just finished hiking 2 trails. We did Trail of the Cedars.
Yes.
which was really cool. So at the very least, do that trail. It's a boardwalk that goes through the forest, and there's a lot of cool little signs that give you some information about trees and different critters that run around up there. And then we also hiked Avalanche Lake, which was a 2-mile section off of the Trail of the Cedars.
It felt more like 6 miles.
Oh, come on. It was quite a bit of uphill, and the trail was a little muddy, but not bad. It really wasn't bad. I think it's well worth doing. I would say you either want to do that hike early in the morning like we did today, or later in the afternoon. The reason later in the afternoon is because once you get back there and you're at the lake, I've got some pretty cool footage or pictures of the sun coming right over the top of one of the peaks. But once the sun clears the peaks, it is very bright in there, so it's harder to get pictures. So if you're there before, say, 8 o'clock in the morning, or maybe after 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, probably be good for taking pictures.
I bet it would. Want to go back?
The position of the sun. No, I'm ready to go eat.
Oh.
Yeah. So again, highly recommend that.
Yes, I
walk.
do too. I do too. It was a great hike.
And I've seen people with younger kids, older people, people of all ages doing the hike. So it's really not that bad. Just take your time. It's your journey. It's your adventure. Play it your way.
Right.
Do it your way. If you need to walk slow, walk slow.
Gordon, wait for me. I gotta stop and take a picture.
There was a lot of that today.